Hey guys, welcome back. It's your favorite Gimp and Wimp, and I am here with my special guest host again. Say hello, Mango.
What's up?
Yep, my brother is back with me, and again, we are doing some games that I haven't had a chance to show off to you guys yet, and some of you might recognize what you see out in front of you. For those of you who don't, this is Kingdom Death Monster. This is one of the most in-depth, deep, long, gruesome, brutality games that I've ever played. Also one of the most expensive. I was lucky enough to have actually backed this on the Kickstarter, so I got it for a relatively decent price. But if you decide to get this game, you will pay through the nose for it. It's going to cost at least $300 or $400. I gotta say, the components are all absolute high quality. Some of the best miniatures I've ever seen. They're weighty, they're resin, they're good. They're delicate in some places. Do keep that in mind. But all of the components for this game are absolute top quality, high-end components. So you do get relatively your money's worth, but I think part of the allure of this game is the fact that it is such a high-end, high-cost. It's like the Cadillac, the Ferrari of board games. But the general gist, we're not going to get whole deep into it, is that there's this world this guy designed, and it's the Lantern world. And you wake up in this dark area and people around you are getting torn apart. And then there's this lion that's tearing people apart, and you have 4 survivors.
Wow.
Over the course of the game, you will take your survivors, kill the lion, hopefully. If you don't, you have to start over. And then you'll go into what's called the settlement phase, where you get more survivors, you bring them into your settlement, and then you level it up over time. And I mean time, like you're going to have to dedicate a significant portion of time to this game, where you unlock things like the skinnery or the blacksmith or the butcher shop or so many other different things you can for your settlement. And you take components, literally like the eyes, the bone, the skin, all the other stuff that you grab from the monsters themselves as you kill them, and you turn those items into weapons, into armor, into anything, and you use that to go after higher and higher level monsters as you go along. Real neat system for the game. I gotta say, I love it. I'll show you guys a couple things here real quick. This stuff is stuff that I 3D printed. The stuff that comes with the game, their terrain is just flat cardboard pieces. So if you do have a 3D printer, you can print off 3D printed versions of the terrain. Definitely recommend that. It makes it look better on the board. On this board, this is the monster board. You'll see that a little more in depth when we get into playing it here in a sec, but you have a few decks you have to worry about. You have your AI deck and then your hit location deck. Your AI deck also serves as the health deck for the monsters. It also serves, like I said, as the health deck for your monsters. So as you do wounds to them, you'll take and remove these cards, so it'll give the AI less options. It'll have less attacks to use against you. It also has what's called its hit location deck, and the hit location tells you where you're hitting the monster. But depending on where you hit the monster, it could potentially hit you back. And then, of course, you also have your basic card that tells you what the monster's going to do. On the back side, it has some stats for it, like its movement and its toughness, which you guys will see here in just a little bit. We're actually fighting against that first story, level 1, and it shows you that it has a custom deck. These have been specially chosen to help you start the game, and it has lower stats, lower toughness, so it doesn't take quite as much to beat through the monster's health to get him down, if you will. Other parts to show you guys. This is something else I 3D printed. They come with these sheets you can put your gear on. I like having this here. It helps hold the cards a little bit more steady. And had that upside down. You only start with one piece of cloth armor. You see in the top left that it gives 1 armor that you can lose during the game. So if you take a hit to your waist, you lose that. And you start with your founding stone, which is pretty symbolic for the game. It's a little piece of stone that you peeled up from the little face mound stone thingy that you arrive on. The stats there on the upper left, that shows you 2, 7, 1. You're rolling 2 dice for your speed, right? That's your speed stat. The middle one, 7+, shows you that you need to roll on those 2 dice a 7 or higher to score a hit against the enemy. A 10, a lantern hit in this game will be a critical hit and can potentially do extra damage. And then that shows the strength down at the bottom of 1. That's what you're going to compare against the toughness. So to damage, to actually wound the monster, you will roll a d10 and you'll add your strength and then the strength of the weapon that you're using, and you have to beat the monster's toughness. Since our monster has a toughness of 6 and this has a strength of 1, you're going to need to roll 5 or better to be able to actually get a wound through on him. So there's a lot you have to do to actually cause a wound in this game. You also see that the Founding Stone comes with a special ability that you can sling the stone from anywhere and you are guaranteed 1 automatic hit and it inflicts a critical wound. But you lose the stone, you lose your weapon at that point, but guaranteeing a hit is just awesome. The thing is that you do have Fist and Tooth. This is built into your character, so you always have an attack of 2 dice, 8+ to hit with 0 strength, but you have +1 luck, which means you actually will crit on a 9 or a 10 instead. One other thing that you do start with is the ability to dodge, which is on their little sheet here. You can use survival points to do so. I know it sounds like I'm going through a whole lot, but this game, like I said, is so deep that I can't explain everything in a short period of time. I'm just trying to hit the highlights as we go along. You'll see more of it as we start taking damage and start marking off some of these boxes and potentially rolling on the severe wounds tables where we can be blinded or even have limbs ripped off. All right, so let's get started with our actual combat phase. So to start things off, the monster is going to go first and we will draw an AI card for it, and that's going to determine its action. For this first scenario, the top card of the AI deck and the hit location deck are predetermined. You will always start off with the claw as the first attack. So it's going to pick its target. It's going to be the closest threat facing and in range. Since the monster is facing that way, it's going to go after that survivor, which is named what, Mango?
Jane.
That is Jane.
Survivor Jane.
Who is this?
Survivor Bob.
This is Survivor Bob. This is Survivor Dude 1. And this is Survivor Chick 1 is what I named them. Because you really don't have to worry about their names, because more than likely they're going to die. So we will take and move the monster forward. If you would, Mongo, move that monster forward directly up against your guy there. Yeah. There you go. He does have that movement of 6, so he'll easily be able to get up against Jane. And now he does his move and then attack target. He has a speed of 2, which means he's rolling 2 dice. He has an accuracy of 2, which means he's going to hit on a roll of anything higher than a 1. So roll 2 dice. So he does hit, and the damage is 1. Mongo, if you would, roll your hit location die. Let me see one of these. When you do take a hit, you're going to have to roll your hit location die, and that's going to tell you where on your survivor you are hit, whether it's head, arms, body, waist, or legs, and that can determine what type of wound that you end up taking. Okay, so we were just checking just to make sure, and since both of those D10s were over 1, he's going to roll 2 hit location die to determine where the damage is on his player character. Did you want to spend?
Yes.
Now, you can spend a dodge after you roll your hit location die to determine whether or not you want to dodge it.
Okay. So if I take it to the waistcloth.
Yeah. If you take it somewhere that's okay, you can just eat the hit and keep going. And those hits are 1 to the legs and 1 to the body. Since Mongo, and I'll show you on mine because mine is the same right now, the body and the legs do not have any armor currently. He would mark off both of his light wounds on body and legs. Did you want to spend a dodge or no?
Yeah, I'll spend a dodge.
Okay, which one are you going to dodge? I would dodge the body since that's more prevalent.
Yeah, I'll dodge the body.
All right, so he will use that little pencil and he's going to mark it off on his hit location die. Now it's our turn. We get to decide what we're going to do. What are you going to do, Mongo? We can start with whoever we want to start with.
We'll
just say She's first player, and then work our way around.
I think I'm going to take my chick and move around to his backside.
Yes, because there is a blind spot behind the lion, and you want to attack him from there if at all possible. Do keep in mind with this game, though, you can only move orthogonally. You cannot move diagonally in this game.
And trying to decide if I want to stab him or throw at him.
Well, if you throw, you're guaranteed a crit, and you're in a safe spot.
Yeah, fine. Let's throw it.
All right, so you're going to throw it?
Yep.
Well, you don't have to roll anything.
Oh, that's right. It's an automatic hit.
Yes.
But then I lose this, right?
Yes. You lose that, and you do gain a automatic critical hit that inflicts a critical wound against the monster. So no need to roll. You guarantee the crit. You guarantee the wound. So we do get to pull this card off. It goes directly into the wound stack. And now we see where the critical is. And it's going to be always the same card, like I said, starting off for this strange hand. This is why you definitely want a crit to start off with, because it has a bonus for the critical wound. You hack off the monster's hand, spend 1 survival to treasure this moment, and gain +1 permanent strength.
But I don't have any survival.
Oh, you spent your survival. Oh, that sucks. Did you want to take the hit and say you didn't spend your survival so you can get your strength?
Yeah, I'll take the hit then.
Since you're new to the game and you didn't know that?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to let him learn it a little bit. Now, I'm going to actually set this card down on the monster because the monster has a persistent injury. He has lost a hand, and it affects some of the AI cards. So we're going to set this down right here on his AI track, denoting the fact that now the lion is missing one of his paws. All right, what is Bob doing?
I can stay here and throw at him, right?
Yep, you could stay there and throw at him.
Yeah.
And do another critical hit.
Hold on, wait. Am I... So we only count his movement is 6, but he can only go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yeah, they're going to move orthogonally just like us. So your movement's 5. You'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could only get to there.
Well, I'm just thinking if I maybe want to get a little farther away so you can't just mush me. Maybe us group up a little bit. So I
wouldn't get too far away. You're going to have to get up on his backside to...
I know. That's why I'm moving towards the center.
Okay.
Moving towards the center, 1 square away, 4 squares forward. And I'm going to toss my Founding Stone at him for another critical strike.
So that's his movement, and then his action. You're getting another crit, like we just talked about. It inflicts a critical wound. Bam! Perfect. So we will draw another AI card, put that in our wound stack, and draw a hit location to see where the monster is hit. He is hit, another critical wound down here at the bottom. The white lion's vision is impaired. The white lion gains -1 accuracy token. If you could grab one of those for me there, Mr. Mongo. And I'm holding on to these cards just to remember, but there are spaces along here to keep track of any potential modifiers that the monster has. Now, you do get weaker by spending all of your stones throwing at this guy because you lose your weapons, but I think it's the best bet to actually be able to defeat the monster by hitting him with all these crits. All right, since we are continuing on with this, I want to do the same thing Mongo's doing. I want to use my stones as well. I want to take down that AI deck as much as possible, get this lion out of the game as quick as possible, so hopefully we don't get any persistent injuries. So I'm going to move up 5 as well with Chick 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I too am going to throw her Founding Stone to get an automatic critical hit. So the problem with this, we're getting all these criticals to start with, and we're lighting the lion up. Hopefully we can end him down enough to where we can kill him off easy, because we are not going to have weapons after this. So another critical wound goes there, and we'll see where it is. Hopefully it's something decent. Critical wound. This blow destroys the white lion's jaw. Oh, sweet. Persistent injury, no jaw, affects some AI cards. Roll a d10. On a result of 5+, the white lion's jaw flies off its face. The attacker gains 1 courage and 1 survival. All right, let me have that d10. I want a big number here. Big number. What we get? 6. Perfect. All right. The white lion now has no jaw, and I've gained 1 courage and 1 survival. All right. And like I said, we're going to do the same thing again with my other guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll take the attack on the next one because I'm going to be the closest guy to him. And the way his threat works is in this blind spot, he can't see you. So he'll go for the first one that he's facing, and then if no one's facing him, he'll turn around and go for the closest threat, which is going to be me. That's all right. We'll spend 1 more founding stone. We're all out of founding stones. We have taken out 4 of his AI cards to start with, and we've got another critical wound. What's going on down here? The white lion's tail is destroyed, ruining its finely tuned balance. The white lion gains -1 accuracy token. Gain 1 lion tail white lion resource. That's beautiful. All right, we have actually done pretty well. We have gained a resource as well. Lion tail, this is some hide, and we can use this to create armor later on. Part of the white lion resources. So we'll set that off to the side. And now it is the white lion's turn again. Now we're going to be going through his AI deck, and it's going to be crucial because we do not have any special attacks left, but we have crushed him. I've set these over here just to keep track of them, and -2 accuracy. So he's going to have a harder time hitting us than he has previously. Let's see what he's going to do. He is doing chomp. He's going to pick his target, closest threat, facing and in range. He's not, so closest threat, facing in field of view. So turn him around.
And he's going to go after your guy, right?
Yes, he's going to go after my guy. 3, yeah, and he'll end right there. Again, he's not going after her because the white lion has a blind spot and the 2 spots directly behind him. And that's also where you have the best chance of getting criticals and not getting attacked back afterwards. So he's doing his move and attack. His speed is 1, his accuracy is 2+, but now his accuracy is 4+. And there's after a hit, a trigger on this always hits the target's head. But if he has no jaw, the white lion vomits blood all over itself. Any adjacent survivors gain +1 insanity. So I actually do not take the attack because we took off his jaw, and I gain 1 insanity, which is actually like an armor for your mind. Let me put this in the white lion's discard. And that's actually a great card for us to have in his deck still, since he cannot attack us. Let's mark off the brain here with 1 insanity. You see, that's the same armor symbol, so it's armor for your brain, and you can take critical hits to your, or severe injuries to your brain if you get filled up. So that is crucial. It can make you go insane. The lion is not doing well. We were actually crushing the lion. This time it's not a very accurate portrayal, but now you'll see how it goes. Mango, let's start up our survivor turn.
Get back in his blind spot.
All right, that's where you got to be.
I'm going to do my 2 attacks with my fist.
Yep, he is using fist and tooth.
But both of these are only hitting on an 8+.
8+, but on a 9 or 10, it is a critical hit, and he's got no strength.
So I got 1 hit.
So he did get 1 hit, but it's not a critical, and now you're rolling against his toughness.
Right.
You have +1 strength because of that thing that happened earlier. So 5 or better will beat his toughness.
What happened earlier that gave me +1 strength?
That when you got the first critical onto him.
Oh, gave me +1. That's right, that card. All right, looking for a 5. Got a crit. So that's good. That's a 10.
But that's not a crit. It's
I know. It's
crit when you're rolling for the hit. But you did get the hit, so you beat his toughness. We roll, or we draw a hit location. Glorious Mane. Impervious hit locations cannot be wounded. A wound or critical wound will not remove AI or defeat monsters. Oh no, it's impervious. But if
you hit his beautiful hair.
Yes, you hit him in his beautiful hair. If we had got a critical wound there, we would have gained an extra resource. If the attacker is insane, the sheer frustration grants them power, gain +1 strength token. He is not insane, so that's not going to affect it. We'll place that in the discard pile. All right. Your other guy, he's probably not going to have range to get up against the monster, maybe on his side.
I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can't get there. So it might behoove me to try to work my way around the back.
Well, I'm going to move my closest guy up against the back to go after his other blind spot. So just get as close as you can.
All right, so right there is where I'm going to go.
Okay, so he's going to go there. And I can use my survivors in any order. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to also get in the blind spots. I will roll my 2. I'm looking for 8, 9, or 10. Big number. Nothing. Oh, I hate to miss that. So I did not score a hit. And now you see that's the difference. That needing that 1 extra point, I would have scored a hit with my founding stone, but I don't have it anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll finish up here and try to attack him at his side, but that is not a blind spot. Tooth and nail. Nothing. All right, that sucks. Now it is the lion's turn again, and he is on us. You don't have to turn him. He'll turn on his own. His next card is a grasp. Pick target. Let's see if he has any wounds. No, it does not do anything. All right, his target is going to be closest knockdown survivor in range. There's none. Closest survivor in range, which is going to be my chick 1. Since she is not in his previous blind spot, he's going to turn to attack her with his grasp. It's a speed 1, so it's 1 die. Accuracy 2+, but he's got -2, so it's going to be 4+. He's going to need a 5 or better to hit now. And potential after damage. So Mango, if you would roll 4.
I'll still need a 4+. It's only -2. He would normally hit on a 2.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Roll it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Good God, dude. Seriously? Of course. Look at that. You're rolling a 9. Rolling a 9 for the monster. So he does hit. Now I have to do that. And he has an after damage. White lion isolates its prey. Full move the white lion away from all threats. Target suffers grab. Place target knockdown in front of the monster. Target suffers 1 damage per monster level.
Oh, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And she goes there. Knockdown, right?
Yep, knockdown, but I don't think... No, he is level 1. So I will suffer 1 damage. So I'm going to have to roll 2 hit locations. 1 for the damage that I am suffering from this, and then 1 for the damage that I suffered there. Let's roll, see where the hit locations are first, and then I might use survival to get rid of it, because she does have 2.
Now you got a waist and a hand, so you could dodge the hand to be fine.
Yeah, if I dodge the hand, I would just lose the armor on my waist. So yeah, we're going to do that. Let's mark these off. I will take off the armor on my waist, like that. And then I have 2 survival, and we'll go back down to 1 from a dodge. And just like that, I have suffered no damage. I am doing good. Yes, there is a lot of bookkeeping to this game. You do have to keep that in mind. You're going to have to keep track of your hits and your wounds and all that other good stuff.
Of course, now the lion is completely out of range.
When you get knocked down like this, you only get back up after the lion's next turn. So after he goes again is when this character will get up, but she is not considered a threat unless, of course, his AI card specifically says so for normal attacks. So he will go after them normally. We'll have to see how it goes. All right, what do you want to do there, Mongo?
I mean, might as well charge the hell in. There's not much else we can do.
Nope. Bring him in. Is that 5 spaces?
Yep.
All right, just bring your other guy in 5 spaces as well. Kind of surround him, like come up this direction so we can get him no matter where he goes. Yeah, go there. And then if you'll move me in 5 spaces as well. All right, that takes care of that. Now we're down to the last AI card. Hopefully it's something weak. And it is Enraged. When this card comes into play, draw AI card. While Enraged is in play, the lion gains +1 damage token per monster level. Ooh, horrible. A damage token increases the damage dealt on monster attack profiles. When a survivor suffers any dismembered, severe injury, or is killed, discard enraged. Horrible. So if you'll grab a +1 strength, he's not hitting as well, but he is taking and crushing us. So he still has that.
And so now he's only got 3 cards left, though.
Yes, he only has 3 cards left, but he is enraged. There is a +1 strength token on him now. That's bad juju.
Does he draw a card again?
No. Wait, does he? Yes, draw AI card. So we're going to have to draw an AI card and see what happens. It is Claw. He's going to go after the closest threat in range and view, which is actually going to be this one.
No, his
view is facing this way. He's
2 away, but they're 1 away.
He's facing this way. Trust me. In the rulebook, it goes from the front of him up as the target he goes after.
He won't be able to get to him.
1, 2, 3, 4. He goes right along there. And he lands right there. Because she's in that space. So he is going to perform a 2-speed, 4+ accuracy attack with +1 damage on it. So 2 damage. Roll the attack.
1 fail, 1 succeeds.
All right, that's good. You can take care of that.
Let's see where it hit. But this would be 2 damage, right?
2 damage. So you're going to have to roll.
So let's hopefully get a cloth and a thing so I can dodge it. No, I think I'm gonna dodge that head hit.
All right, so you're getting rid of your last survival
on Bob, yeah,
and then taking the wound to the chest, light wound.
Yep, taking a light wound to the chest.
All right, so he is marking off his light wound box. That is something to worry about. All right, that's okay though. That is okay. We can deal with that. Now we are close to him. Finally, we can cause some wounds. All right, he's gone. He's gone again, so I get to stand up with her.
Let's have her move first then and come here, and then my guy can come around because these 2 are not going to be able to get to the back corner.
But those 2 can attack him on the side. That way we can get 4 attacks in.
But we need to clear this front, or we need to clear this area before they come in. Your guy can come right there, my girl can come right in.
Okay, so we'll do that. 1, 2, 3. And she's going to perform a tooth and nail attack against his ass. You always want to try to attack him in the blind spot if you can. Come on, big money.
9.
Reroll this one since it was cocked.
So you got a crit though.
I did get a critical hit on him. Now I need to see if I beat his toughness. His toughness is...
Oh, you still have to do the toughness even with a critical?
Still have to beat the toughness. I do believe. Yes. Just a FYI, something we forgot. We do get a +1 to our hit results when we're attacking from the blind spot. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah, I think. Do you want to do an update part here? Update, Nate.
Okay, yep. We're correcting something we just realized we were doing that backwards.
Which I don't think it affected anything in the game.
No, because all of our crits came from founding stones previously. When you're doing your attacks, it's not your to hit roll that causes the critical wound. It's the wound roll, which we're doing now, unfortunately, because I was so excited to have.
So you had a 9 to hit, which is, so you did hit,
yeah.
But now you got to roll against his toughness, which you need
9.
So you actually did get it. It was meant to be, right?
It was meant to be. God was looking out. So now we do get to take one of the AI cards off, and we draw the hit location to see what happened. And failure action would perform a basic attack. So if I had failed to attack, he would have potentially... Oh, actually, I don't think he does. Not if you're in his blind spot. But critical wound. The torn muscle causes agonizing pain. Discard 1 moot card currently in play. The white lion is knocked down. That actually gets rid of his enrage. That's his moot card.
And it knocks him down?
And it knocks him down. While a monster is knocked down, all reactions are canceled and all hit rolls succeed on 3+. Oh, that's beautiful. We'll set that right there so we remember it. His enraged goes away. So that is beautiful.
So now I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, hitting that blind spot. And one thing we missed before is the blind spot is actually a +1 to accuracy.
Yeah.
So this will hit on a 7 rather than an 8.
No, you're hitting on 3+.
Oh, 3+. That's right, because he's knocked down.
Yeah. So
now would it be 2+ because he's?
No,
plus
I don't think it matters when he's knocked down. I think this just changes
that's
it
just
all the way
flat
around.
3+.
Yeah.
So 2 hits.
2 hits. Now you're doing your wound roll. Get a high one on this one.
So this is 5s, right? No, it's 6s for him. So she has +1 strength.
Yes. So it's 6 up for him.
1.
1 wound. That's what we need, though.
Because now he's only got the claw left.
Now he only has the claw left, but he only did a wound. So the hit location, he didn't get a failure or a critical wound. So there's no other effect. This will just go into the discard pile. I'm leaving this card here just so we remember about the 3+ hit, and then I'll place it in its discard. If we can take and get another hit here while he's down, we can kill off the lion. All right, I will go in.
Bad kitty.
1, 2, 3. Get 2 D10s and roll this beautiful bean footage. I've got 2 hits. Now I'm rolling to wound.
6+.
Come on, give me that lantern now.
Got 1.
I got 1. And it doesn't matter. That's going to be enough to kill him. That's his last card. Even if it is no critical wound, it goes into his AI. He's down. He has no cards left.
Meow, meow, meow.
Do your last attack. See what you have going against him.
No hits. On the 3+ on a D10.
Oh, and my hit location was the beast heel. You clip the tense muscles of the heel, but no critical damage. So, and he misses. But we took out the lion. He is out. Actually, do you have to take out his basic action as well? The next wound it suffers will kill the monster.
So we have to get him one more time.
Yep.
So now he stands up.
Yep. The monster is not dead. I was correct about that. He does stand up, and the only thing he has left is his basic action, which is this card, closest survivors in field of view. But that's not his field of view, so he's just going to sniff and then turn.
So he wouldn't. They're not in field of view?
Yeah, sniff means that he sniffs the air. His field of view is directly from his front. So this line forward, since none of them are in his field of view and these 2 are in his blind spot, he sniffs and then he turns. And that's all he does. He does not continue on after he does a sniff. Yeah, sniff actually makes it to where all survivors are threats. So until the end of the following round, even survivors in his blind spot will be a threat. So if we all miss doing a wound to him, he could still detect survivors in his blind spot.
A lot of rules.
Yeah.
All right. So
there are a lot of rules.
2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to keep circling this bad boy.
Right. +1 to hit.
So
being in that blind spot.
This would be on a 7+.
No, 6+.
Oh, yeah, 6+. But that's 2 6s.
Yeah.
2 hits. Now she wounds on a 5+ because she has the +1 strength. She got 1 wound.
1 wound, so that is enough to actually finish off the lion. No critical wound. We'll see what his hit location
see if
was.
I get a bonus.
No failure. See, if you do fail, the lion jumps back without turning, move the monster 1 space directly away from the attacker, cancel all unresolved hits, now range, and then critical hit location. So, bam! And then the lion goes down. That actually was a little bit easier than the previous times that I fought the lion. I think it did help that we burned through all of our founding stones right off the bat to clear out his AI card deck. And I think we kind of got lucky because I think some of the first cards were harder. Let's see. He had Terrifying Roar. Yeah, Intimidate all targets. That one was one of the first ones taken out. Power Swat. Yeah, Accuracy 2+, causes knockback and 2 damage. Yeah, we got lucky there. Maul, 3 damage. We just got lucky that the top cards in his deck were the worst ones. So that didn't hurt us too bad. All right, guys, we won't get into the rest of it just yet. I'll take and get into that in a follow-on video, maybe show you guys some of what happens in the settlement. But just to give you a brief overview of it, now that we have defeated the White Lion, we would draw so many of its resource cards. I do believe it's like 4 of its resource cards and then 4 generic resource cards that we then get to take to our settlement and start our settlement. We get so many other survivors that will join, and then some basic amenities we can start with. I don't remember exactly which one, something like a skinnery and a bone factory or something like that. And you can use that to make some bone swords or rawhide vests, and you'll use those in your follow-on fights. You can even fight the white lion again, or you can fight the antelope. Let me grab that. You guys will get a kick out of him. The antelope is one of the follow-on next bosses. You guys can see he's got like a mouth in his chest where his rib cage is busted open and he's like chomping them with his ribs. Evil looking antelope enemy to go after. And then there's a butcher, dragons, and a whole bunch of other cool little things that you guys...
That big dragon part of it?
Yeah, that big dragon.
I'm going to grab that so you can show it.
Like what the
end bosses look like.
Mongo is grabbing my massive dragon. This is actually one of the expansions for the game, and you'll see how big the enemies actually become. Just look at that thing. That is one of the bosses that you can fight in this game. I have not got him painted yet. His chest still has a couple pieces that get added to it, but I'm not going to do that until after I paint him. But look how many squares this guy takes up. It's like 4 in each direction. He's just massive. Here's one of your little survivors. And there is the big dragon they've got to attack. The cool part with this game, though, is you don't play the whole game with these little pieces here. I mean, you can if you want to. You don't necessarily have to build the others. But it comes with a lot of miniatures of survivors that are wearing the different types of armor. So once you get rawhide and bone weapons, you can build those and paint those up, and your guys will actually look like what they're doing. Some people have even gone so in depth as to use tiny little tools, bore these things out, put tiny magnets in them, and make them fully WYSIWYG. So they have all the different weapons and armor and whatever else they're using set up to where they can switch things out and actually have their survivor miniatures fully represented by what equipment they're wearing. I am not going to that level of detail. I'll build the other miniatures and paint them up, but I'm not going to go that far. But this is a game that you can go that in depth, that intense with. If you like dungeon crawl type games, the ones where you're leveling up, the deepest RPG you can think of that is fully solitaire friendly, then KDM is the way to go. But just keep in mind, it is horribly, horribly expensive. It will cost you an arm and a leg, minimum $300 for the base set, and I don't know, $60 at the cheapest end for any of the expansions, of which there are many. But the expansion, depending on where you get it, if you're lucky enough to get it from the direct retailer, you might be able to get it 60, 80, 100, just depending. If you try to buy it off eBay, those scalpers will charge you easily 3-4 times retail price to get the expansion, especially if it's one that's harder to find. I've seen them charge upward of $2,000 for some of these games components. All right, but that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, I'll do a follow-on video where I'll show some of the settlement and how you get extra equipment. That's going to be it for us. You guys take care. We'll catch you in the next one.